fails at the ballot,
That,
we call another.
I understand what you're saying. I thought
And we're back
that
with
can be
a
worded so that this is the override budget. If the override passes in a town meeting and at the election, that's the new budget. If it does not pass at the election, then it's going to be the non-override budget.
So that, both of them will be approved at the town meeting?
I don't know quite yet how that's going to be articulated.
We don't have to go back to it at town meeting.
No, not at all. It would be like any other time we've done this, where we've gone for,
We've done this, it's
well, a
been a
couple
little
times.
different, Robert.
Well, it's, yeah, but it still depends on the election. But the last thing I want to share is, town meeting is 35 days away. This needs to be signed, if you're going to meet on a Thursday, not on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it needs to be signed 23 days from now, and it needs to be posted 27 days
So what's
from
our
now.
drop dead date for approving the warrant?
For approving the warrant, drop dead date is April 19,
April 19th.
and
Okay.
April 23 is a Monday, and that's really the drop dead date for posting it.
Yeah. All right,
It's getting,
yeah, I know. Oh, thank you, sir.
cheers.
Quick question on that. So would the town see both budgets at it? Are we gonna show both of them? Because,
It sounds like.
okay, and so then it would be like a default if this one doesn't pass, it's on, okay, I just wanted to make sure there's
That's what-
visibility.
That's
Okay.
my interpretation.
Pass the override budget, if it passes, then we can vote on a non-override budget. That if
Robert's
the override doesn't-
gonna work it out. He'll work it out.
Okay, but I just want to make sure everyone sees that at the town meeting and they know.
My understanding is it's gonna look very similar to this.
Janet Kane, 83 Glendale Road. To address Ed's question, that dollar amount in the budget funds two positions. One, the administrative assistant, which is just under $8,000. It's 10 hours a week. So the 32.6 would be used to fund the director at $20 an hour and the administrative assistant at $15 an hour for 10 hours a week. So the way the budget is today, we take 15 hours out of our current budget of $23,600. 15 hours goes to the director, and 10 hours a week goes to the administrative assistant.
How much does the admin get paid?
The admin gets paid $15 an hour. She works 10 hours a week.
Okay, so that's different.
Yeah, that's why the number is bigger. It's not the increase in, we did originally, dream for $24 an hour, but we're at $20 an hour for that.
And I think someone with 20 years' experience, a bachelor's degree, deserves to have the increase, and it was scored by PQB, but obviously they're aware, and we're aware of the budget difficulties, and so it's not on the front burner this year.
We have a motion in a second.
I don't think so. No, we don't. Before we do this, and this, it's a question,
Trying to get a motion, but it ain't gonna happen.
I got a question for our gentleman back there. I just got a text that says, broadcast has switched to concert series.
It is possible that it was only scheduled for 4.5 hours.
That's crazy, we're always here.
Well, somebody out there is listening to music, then they don't see us anymore.
Still recording, certainly will be.
And that may be a better view than this,
But it's being recorded, it'll be rebroadcast. Okay.
they can't hear us anyways.
No, but he can, and I'm
Yeah.
talking to him.
Okay. So,
All right, so do I hear a motion? Do I hear anything?
Can you hear me now?
I'm telling you, man.
I'd like to make a motion that we increase the override budget for the Council of Aging. I also think it should be separated, just into a separate director like everybody else. But for now, I'll make a motion that the salary for the override budget increase by $9,000, so it's not covered under the grant. Is it 9,000? Did you work out the numbers? That's the difference.
Yeah, that's what we asked for originally. A little bit will probably end up coming out of the grant to make it a full 26 hours, but at least
Yeah.
it will free up a lot of money.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Did the clerk get the motion? Any more discussion?
So we're just talking about the override budget.
That's my
Only
understanding.
the override.
Just the only
Only the override. That's my understanding.
Honestly, I don't know if it's gonna bring in more votes or less votes, but it's like rolling the dice,
Let's
so.
roll the dice. We have 1,700 senior citizens that may be in favor of this, and they may be, and that's what I'm looking at. And as well, they deserve it, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna
Well,
say,
it
besides,
definitely
they,
deserves it, it's just, will it, which way will it go? And I'm gonna roll with it, probably bring
I
in
know.
more votes than not, so.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous? Okay, that takes care of most of the budget. We are now gonna move into things that I don't anticipate any real discussion, but then I've been
And-
wrong before.
And just let me mention that, well, we didn't talk about it, but there are 4 potential cost items for articles. One is the $15,000 for the vision software, one is the $7,500 for the server,
Serverless capital, right?
$60,000 to repair the second boiler at Norris School. Thank you for that reminder. And then the last was the $250,000 dump truck potential borrowing question, so.
So we're robbing stabilization on some of this? Not the truck.
Well, capital has $15,000 in it, so.
I'm sorry?
Capital has $15,000
Yeah,
in
you want
it.
the 15,000, I mean, we could buy something.
That's a debt exclusion.
Down payment.
Let's just say, let's just not buy anything with the
So,
well, we need to fix the boiler.
But can't we do these articles at the next selectmen's meeting?
I just wanted to mention them.
That's
You got
what
your
I thought,
department
but-
heads here, but yes.
Not this part of the budget,
Ed,
not
is-
articles.
Ed, are there any debts that are retiring that we can take advantage of this year?
Yeah, Norris School's in there, right?
Right,
Right, but that's a debt exclusion. We're not borrowing that big dollars to do the debt exclusion.
right, but is it gonna lower an override?
No.
So we're
Beca-
just doing a borrowing rather than.
If you're gonna do a borrowing for the truck, you have to remember, if you're gonna pay that truck down, that needs to go into the budget also, however much money that may be.
Right.
So,
And while there may not be an impact in fiscal year 19, there definitely
Correct.
will be for 20.
yes.
Pay it back over 5 years.
So it sounds like that winter storm.
Sounds like a FTE.
And not to change the subject, but I hear, a lot of people are asking me, like, can we give an example of if we pass this override? Come up with the numbers, I don't need them tonight. At 552,000, for instance, if we're gonna go for that for an override, what is it gonna expect per $100,000 of value for a house, so people can understand what they're gonna be paying?
Can we talk about that? There were some numbers thrown out last week.
Okay, I missed last meeting,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
So, do you want them?
47.
Oh, that'd be great, I'd love to have.
I'll give you,
I'm sorry.
no, so basically this was based on $517,359 override budget, but since we've changed it with increases and other decreases, that would be a different number, but you're talking 83 cents per thousand, okay? And,
Okay.
you know, I have this, I can send this to you, I have this listed from $150,000 up to $630,000, because we do know we have some huge, yes. But if you break it down, because someone mentioned it, oh, the chief's not here anymore, if you break it down per day, so if you have a $250,000 house, that's 57 cents per day, which more people spend that on coffee every day. So if you break it down to that,
Ridiculous breakdown per day.
well, no, but I'm just saying, no, but I'm just saying, because people like $250, it's too much money for me. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, if you break it down,
X amount per average.
well, I did it per thousand, per quarter, and per day, because people think.
Please share this information with us.
I will. I just did this afternoon. But I have one other question, and it's not really budget related. I know, everyone knows Donna's leaving on Thursday, correct, the treasurer? We need to appoint somebody so they can sign the checks.
Oh,
Okay, so someone's got to be able to sign those checks.
good point.
If it was a bill warrant week, I wouldn't really worry too much, but next week is payroll.
She has an assistant, doesn't she?
She does. So
Yeah. You can temporarily appoint
the assistant, and because the
Dawn,
checks are all
yeah.
printed with Donna's name on it, because it's in the system, but someone has to sign those checks.
I was gonna say, what about Ed?
I guess you have to have someone to be able to sign the checks, that's all I'm saying.
It's actually, it is set up so that Dawn can sign them.
Okay,
In the
perfect.
interim, so
Just want people to
if
get
you make
paid.
that appointment official
We need we
on a
need
temporary
motion.
basis, that would be good.
One more question, sorry. It's a good one.
Wait.
Heather Pellegrini, Finance
Heather,
Committee.
1 minute, please.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Are we
thought you
making
were giving
a
me one.
motion to appoint the assistant town treasurer to sign the checks,
Collector treasurer.
collector treasurer?
But you have to.
Does she
Well-
have the authorization?
No, that's what we're looking for. She's set up and
Do I
planning
hear
to
a
do it.
motion to authorize her to sign the checks?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Done. Please record that.
Okay.
Can I just
have
ask a question? Is this until the
Okay.
election or till when?
Yeah, to the election.
Sorry, I'm trying to get back
We need to
to
cut the noise down, please.
budget stuff here. Okay, this has been grueling. It's
Oh, it's
ugly, it's
terrible.
hideous, it's terrifying for everybody in town. Revenue sources. I know we just came green community certified. Does that equate to anything? We can,
$138,000.
Those are grant monies that are available to take and do projects in town.
such as, could it be the boiler?
Insulating the building.
Changing windows,
Could it be the
doors.
boiler?
Well, I think Bob Markle checked on that, and the answer was no, or...
The
Well,
problem with the boiler was it was a complete refit to do
Right.
it. It wasn't to repair it.
right. You can't use
No.
it to repair it. It would have to be
To
a replacement and more energy efficient, which actually means a change of the entire system. So
Yeah.
you're talking, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you were going to follow up, I think, in April, Ed, with some possible plans for that
Yes.
money?
Okay, that was my question. I think, we got to try to get creative and figure out sources of revenue.
No, good question.
'Cause
And
this
it's
problem
speaking-
is not going away. We're going to be here next year doing the same thing with the benefits going up and the school allocations going up continually.
If it doesn't pass, we won't be here next year doing the same thing,
Good
that's for
point.
sure.
Sorry? We're going to go into the hall and adjourn our meeting? What about employee benefits? There's a whole topic here.
You said hard stop at 10.
Your hard stops at
You
10?
said there was a hard stop at 10.
Well, that was my hope, but
Was contemplating.
I was hoping, but nobody listens to me through the whole meeting anyways.
So are we still continuing with?
We only have a few things here. I'd love to just burn through them.
Say AM or PM.
We have to stay, you have to stay.
Yeah. Well, so employee benefits, is there anything that the finance committee would like to address in that? Is there anything the board would like to address in that? Is there anything,
You gotta pause.
I did pause.
Not enough. On health insurance benefits, we order a indemnity and a HMO,
PPO.
EPO, and this is being done all over, should we just look at offering an HMO, a really good HMO? Because they have the same coverages, just that you have a different selection sometimes of providers. I've worked for an HMO for 14 years, the nation's largest, and they have some great ones out there, and the cost could be a lot less. I mean, this is one of those, nobody wants to touch it, but as long as you give them very good coverage and you can reduce the cost, why not look at it? Again, I spent a lot of time in the field, and it's out there. Nobody ever wants to touch it, but there's a lot of things we don't want to touch, just budget cycle.
I think when Donna spoke about this last, she had maybe suggested only offering an HMO to the employees, but I think because we're a part of the Hampshire County Group Insurance Trust, it's a very solvent trust, and as much as our insurance costs have gone up, they hadn't gone up over the past 5 or 6 years. And so you'd have to switch. I think even Bob looked into it, switching insurance company, getting out of the trust and stuff, and it wasn't really
You're saying-
beneficial,
You're
but
saying the trust doesn't offer an HMO?
we do have an HMO, but the town offers an HMO and a PPO. So if the town decided, hey, we only want to offer an HMO to our employees, we could potentially do that, from my understanding.
Yeah, so can anybody put together an ROI on that, what it'll save us? without affecting the?
Yeah, we could,
Because if it's 10, 15, 50,000, you know?
it's probably more than that, because a lot of people have PPO family,
Yeah, and there's a lot of great HMOs around here.
so,
I would also need to look at our collective bargaining agreements.
yep.
Well, we can start with the non-collective bargaining agreements, and as we go forward
All-
in July.
All units have to be treated the same.
Yep.
On unit and unit?
Yes.
Yeah.
So just theoretically, if one of those CBAs or all of them have in it that what you have, that the PPO has to be offered, you cannot switch anybody until the
Is that-
last
is that-
I
CBA
don't
is.
believe those are in our CBAs, but I'd have to double check.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
think it
I
just
have to
says
look.
insurance, I don't
Right,
think it says.
whatever the town has,
Yeah,
yeah.
whatever, I don't think it has the distinction between the two, but.
What do we need from this board to look into that? Because,
Just simply direct Ed to look into it, and as he has time on the 42nd hour of the first day.
well, I mean, seriously, if we can come up with a big chunk of change and still provide great insurance for the employees,
You have the versatility of understanding this, you want to take a look yourself?
Are all CBAs that coming due this June
yeah.
30th? All of them?
Yeah, 3 of them, yeah. The school,
So,
the police and highway?
so there might be an opportunity to
4
put
of them.
it in the same.
Yeah, we can get on the same page here.
that they actually have it spelled out, PPO or HMO, I think it just.
No, I think it's whatever the town offers. So who will we contact to get a comparison? Well, we know what the HMO and the PPO rates are right now, right? So all we gotta do is a calculation. If we
Right.
take the people off the PPO and put them on the HMO, what would that save us? Is that a Vicky kind of question?
It's an Ed question.
Is it that question?
We had a presentation not that long ago, was it
Why
from the
not?
New Hampshire Council of Governments?
Pile it on.
Who presented the the whole health insurance last time?
Donna was
Whole
talking
system.
about it, right?
Yeah.
The treasurer collector, maybe.
We were talking,
She's on the group, she's
2 days left.
a member of the group insurance trust, like, she's on their board.
but we were talking about getting off of that entirely and going elsewhere, not just going
Oh,
from
okay, I
PPO.
thought it was an option.
That same organization offers them different
Well,
plans.
we get both of them now. That's what she's saying. We get a PPO and an HMO, and and the employees get to choose.
One of the issues is that you have to be on the PPO in order to get the Guardian Dental. So I don't know how that plays, the dental insurance, I don't know how that plays into that piece, so,
Okay, but I mean,
but that's just something else to.
Specific to Hampshire Council of Government, right? Or no?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
okay. So can we get a calculation on that? Is the board okay? Okay.
Just a quick question. I believe, I don't know if it's accurate, but if you have an HMO and you have a child that goes to college out of state, you then have to pay for insurance through school. Is that,
I know that one, depends, yeah, that's
Right.
true. Only for routine care. My son went to school in Florida with an HMO, he couldn't get routine care, the yearly examination.
Well, you
Goes to
can't-
an ER or something like that, needs, surgery.
but then you can't be exempted
What do you mean?
from I know you can't, you have to have an insurance that will see you for routine
Well,
emergency
you do have
care.
it, but it's back in the state.
Right,
Can we
but,
get like options in
Yeah.
another time?
But it's a good point we have to look into.
No, but I think if they're retiring the end of June, I think we should look
So does
into
the
what.
board have any motions they want to make relative to this section? Hearing none, I'm moving on to the debt service and the principal and interest. Nothing's changed there. There's nothing we really can do about it. So being that, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Can we discuss?
I think, John, put your hand up.
So our next,
We've so moved, we've adjourned.
Charlie, our next,
We have been at this for 5 hours.